Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank all our guests here today for your courage in being here. And your stories are touching. I'm going to tell a story, too. My wife has MS. It's a pre-existing condition. I have 4 children, 3 living. I lost a daughter long ago to conditions that she was born with. I myself has many, many physical injuries from my years as a police officer, including a reconstructed eye socket. As a cop, cops earn in Louisiana $12, $13, $15, $16 an hour. As a captain, when I resigned my commission to run for office, I was earning $20 an hour. My wife was a receptionist at parish government. She earned $12 an hour. Health insurance for many years before the ACA was always the same, $300, $400, $500 a month. The ACA come along, insurance premiums went up to unaffordable, $800, $900, $1,000 a month. Deductibles were always $500, $600, $1,000 for a deductible. They went up to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Having a health care card from the ACA does not mean having health care. One of my colleagues mentioned that we want to destroy the ACA. We were told you can keep your plan, you can keep your doctor, your premiums will go down by $2,500. You'll have more access to care. Those with pre-existing conditions will be protected. If the ACA had manifested well and Americans had not suffered the incredible increases in premiums and deductibles, we wouldn't be having this conversation. President Obama's crown jewel will be safe. But the fact is, we must represent the interests of the American citizens that we serve. In business before the ACA, it was common for 3, 4, 5, or 6 insurance companies to compete for the group policy. That business of companies large and small, that's gone. You don't have a competitive market anymore. Those companies have to search and beg. It used to be the other way around. Insurance companies would come to American businesses, large and small, and seek that business for the coverage they were providing their employees. My coverage expense after the ACA went up every year. It was quickly over $1,000 a month. Couldn't afford it, man. Do the math. You're a cop earning $15, $16 an hour. The wife of a cop earning $12. Very quickly, you had to make a decision. You're going to buy groceries or health insurance. What do you think we did? We bought groceries. That was never an issue before the ACA. The ACA expense was not a distraction. As my colleague said, it was a disaster. Having an ACA policy card is not having health care. An unaffordable policy for a regular working American at $1,000 a month, just to have the privilege of paying cash for your health care all year because you have a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $14,000 deductible that you never hit. That's not health care that we need to provide to our nation. That's not real. My wife and I had to buy a non-ACA policy. That was reality, man. We had to buy a non-ACA policy, and we were subject to punitive fines from our own government, whom we served. And I'm a veteran as well. Because the fines were down the line. The seizure of our property from the IRS, of all places, because we have the audacity to buy a non-ACA policy. That seizure of our property was down the line, but groceries were not. I'm not opposed to the ACA because it was President Obama's crown jewel. I'm opposed to the ACA because it's been an abysmal failure and a massive seizure of American property and American freedoms. Mr. Blatt, you mentioned, I thank you all for being here. You've mentioned reasonable postures, and you, my fellow children of God, my fellow Americans, have shared meaningful stories that touch our hearts. Help us fix this thing, man. That's what we seek. Mr. Chairman, I yield.
Mr. Sassi.